Okay. Hello. All right, we'll get going in just a little bit here. We'll wait for a few other people to pop in. All right, everybody in the chat room that is a guest, I think you can change yourself to a name somehow. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. I've got Helen here with me. Click the cog. Okay. I think that's the little gear icon down at the bottom right. There we go. Now you can hear me, right? Okay, sorry about that. So I was saying I have my new webcam here, and it's doing some weird blurry things. So if it gets super blurry, let me know. So, and let me quit my iTunes here and put some of my stuff here. All right, so we're going to be talking about GatherKudos today, and I want to talk about reviews and things like that. Before we get started, why doesn't everybody put down in the chat box below? Tell us where you're from. Tell us who you are if your name still says guest, and tell us what the weather like is where you're at. So it's actually finally cool here. I'm in Highland, California, which is in the Inland Empire, if you're familiar with SoCal. And we have kind of cloudy day today, finally. It's been really hot. So, and so go ahead and type down in the chat box. Can everybody hear me okay? Helen, you can hear me? Yes, okay. Helen, go ahead and unmute yourself and introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi guys, I'm Helen. You've probably heard my voice on the phone.
So Helen helps me get things done, and she's really good at helping me get things done. So she's going to be kind of moderating the chat, watching what you guys are typing. We're going to have some Q&A and some questions later on that you might have. So if you have concerns or questions regarding reviews, let's put those in. So I'm going to go back to my screen here. Let's see here. I want to share my screen. And we'll get into it. Let's get going. All right. Okay, so 5 ways GatherKudos can transform your business. So this isn't hype. Hopefully by the end of this, we actually have given you some actionable ideas or tools or tips that you can actually transform your business in regards to either customer service or getting more reviews, which helps you get more business, whatever it might be. So I wanted to share this just real quick. I don't know if you'll see this. All right, let me make sure I'm sharing the right screen here. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is just a little bit silly, but this went viral yesterday. 1-star Yelp reviews of national parks, and this got like thousands and thousands of comments on Reddit and shares, and it's incredibly silly. So, you know, it just goes to show that people leave bad reviews on even amazing things, like these beautiful national parks. One time at Yosemite, I had to go to the bathroom and it was gross. Really, they left a 1-star review regarding the bathroom, and it's one of the most beautiful places on earth. And they gave it a 1-star review. I lost my car key in the restroom and nobody helped me out. So maybe I'm just not a caveman. If you've seen one geyser, you've seen them all. Okay. So, all right. So I just wanted to share that really quick. Let me go back to my presentation. Stop. All right. So we're going to get into the meat of this. And here we go. Share. All right, so who am I? I don't think anybody's really too concerned about who I am, and most of you probably already know me because I'm guessing most of you are clients. But basically, the important thing to realize is I'm like you. I'm a small business owner. I have concerns about getting reviews, all those kind of things. So I want to, I want the same things that you guys have. So, so about you, I had mentioned in the chat box to type where you guys are from, and I don't. Let me see if anybody's doing that. Okay, so yeah, we've gotten some responses here. So we've got, oh good, we've got Dennis and who else? Wendy, RPM Boise, Anne. Oh, we've got I call you guys the reappraisal people. I know it's reappraisal, but I call it reappraisal all the time in my head. And then I've got Doji, great, and I think some other people. Cool. So what I want you to do in the chat box below is type a question that you have about reviews or what you're hoping to get out of this. So I want to know, make sure that I'm going to touch on these things, and throughout this entire webinar, go ahead and put in questions down below, and when we get to the QA section towards the end, we'll touch on that. I'll try and get to all the major questions and make sure we touch on any concerns or questions you have regarding reviews or customer service or whatever other takeaways you might want me to touch on. So go ahead and put some questions in. So I'm guessing most of you are here for this reason. You want reviews, right? So this is this great photo that I have on the cover of the ebook that I wrote. A guy in Germany gave me permission to use it, and it's really cool. So let's, while you're typing your questions or thinking of questions to ask, go ahead and put in different review. I'm going to talk about review trends. So let's see. So I'm going to give you some stats and talk about reviews and how do they really matter. Because I'm guessing a lot of you here because you don't really focus too much on reviews. You don't really have a strategy in place. So reviews are trusted. So people trust reviews almost as much as their family and friends, right? Maybe that says something sad about how we feel about our family and friends, but these, reviews from people you don't even know have credibility, and 72%. That's 3/4 of the people out there almost believe that online reviews are just as credible as a solid recommendation from their friend or their family. So reviews attract clicks. Look at these. I don't know if you can see this. It's probably a little bit small, but if you do a Google search for something, which business listing are you going to click on? And if you're on your phone or an iPhone or something like that, you're way more likely to click, according to Google. 87% more likely they get 87% of the clicks if you have more than 3-star reviews. If you have 3 stars or more, you're more likely to get clicks. If you have 1 or 2 stars, people are generally just not going to click you. 62% of clicks went to 4 or more people in this study that they did. So if you have 4 or more reviews. So if you have 4 or more reviews, you're getting the majority of the clicks. And I think that statistic sounds a little weird to me because I don't think Google shows a star rating like you see here unless you have 5 reviews. So you have to get to the 5 reviews point before it will show a star rating. Excuse me. So, so reviews attract clicks. Now, if you're looking at these, everybody's going to click on this top one. This is really skewed. So some of you are property managers, and this company is a real estate company. That's why they have so many positive reviews. It's not because of the property management, it's because of the real estate, most likely. Either that, or they have a really solid review strategy in place. But look at the property managers. All right, so reviews, they influence people. They're very influential. Love my picture here. Come in and try the worst meatball sandwich that one guy on Yelp ever had in his life, right? So that's one way to deal with a negative review, I guess. But 88% of customers say that their buying decisions are influenced by online reviews. That's even higher. It's 90% for positive reviews. All right, so what's the problem? The problem is getting good reviews. So why is it such a challenge? Oh, and let me make this full screen. There we go. Why is it such a challenge? Negative reviews and unhappy people are way more motivated, right? They're angry, they're upset, or they think they're funny. I don't know what it might be, but they're just much more motivated. And unhappy customers tell on average of 24 people. They're telling almost twice as many people when they're upset, and depending on how upset they are, I'm guessing they tell even more people. So if you really tick them off, they're really going to spread the word and badmouth your business, even if they don't take to Yelp or Google to do it. Happy customers, they don't tell as many people because they're not really as motivated unless you really wow them, right? So good reviews are just waiting to happen. 90% of people read online reviews. All of us do it. We check out the reviews before we use a business. We look at Yelp before we check out a restaurant a lot of times. Or we even just word of mouth, but only 6% write them. That means if you have 100 customers, you're only going to maybe get 6 reviews, ever. So it's really, then that's typical. So how do you get more good reviews? How do you do it? So the obvious answer would be, well, why don't we just ask, right? Just ask. So what does Yelp say? Don't ask, right? It says don't ask for reviews. Yelp has a whole page just about that topic. It says do not ask for reviews. It says on that page, it says there's a big difference between saying, hey, write a review about me on Yelp, which is bad, they say, and hey, check us out on Yelp, or go see us on Yelp, or hey, by the way, we're on Yelp. It's like this indirect way of asking for reviews. But everybody else online, if you Google how to get more reviews, most people just say ask. But asking's really touchy, right? It can be really awkward. And then every time they see you again or talk to you, and if they didn't leave the review and they promised you they would, it feels, you know, they're like, ugh. So here's what some business owners do. They start paying for reviews. That's one thing you never want to do, is solicit for reviews or trade something for reviews or offer an incentive or a gift certificate. For other review sites, it'd probably be okay, but Yelp, specifically, if they find out that you're doing anything like that, they put this beautiful placard that pops up on your page when somebody goes to try and read the page that they have to close out of before they can get to your content, or it'll be right at the top. So they basically give you the scarlet letter. They brand you as this fishy business. So don't offer incentives. Fake reviews. The other thing is, a lot of business owners, they start getting a bad review or two, and they're like, gosh, this is killing my business. I'm going to just go in and put in some fake reviews. Why not? Because that other review really was dumb anyway, and so you can't do that either. First of all, if you have ownership of your Yelp listing, they know your IP address, and then if you go and post reviews, they're going to know that it's you, even if you create fake accounts. They look at IP addresses, and then they will, again, brand you and shame you. You don't want to be publicly shamed as a fishy business. That's way worse than a negative review. All right, so what's the solution? The solution to this problem of dealing with negative reviews and of not getting the reviews that you want is to have a review strategy, a good one. Because here's my hint right here. You already have a review strategy. Your review strategy might be, well, if somebody's really amazed by us, then beg them to leave us a review on Google. Or maybe your review strategy is like most business owners, I just ignore reviews. That's my strategy. Or I just hope and pray I get good ones. That's a really crappy strategy. So, so the goal of GatherKudos and of my ebook, which I wrote, is to give you a solid strategy. GatherKudos is the tool. This ebook that I wrote is how to use this tool. It's all about how to use this amazing hammer to get more reviews. It has real actionable tips that you can implement tomorrow. The book's free, and it tells you exactly how to respond to negative reviews, what to do, what not to do. It has some tips, how to improve your customer service, and it doesn't just say, there's no fluff, and it's a quick read. This is useful stuff. What is GatherKudos? So let me show you GatherKudos so you guys can actually see what it is. Maybe some of you have already checked this out. So let me get out of my screen here and get over to a browser window and open it up. All right, so I'm going to go to a demo here. All right, so GatherKudos is basically, it's a review funnel for your business. You get this really cool link. It'll have your business, kind of your own URL, and you can give this out to anybody. You can put it on things. You can use those cool QR codes to place it on your window, whatever. There's endless ways of giving out a link, and you send them to this page, and then it'll have your business name or your logo up here, and I'll show you an example of that. And then you mention that you want to get good and bad feedback, any feedback, and if they have negative feedback or the frustrator had a bad experience, you can ask them to contact you directly. You can even put your phone number here. If they click this will go right to you, and they can send you that feedback. Most people, I think, don't want to, especially your clients, they don't want to leave negative reviews, but sometimes they just don't have any other way to communicate and have a voice, and we'll touch on that a little bit later. So, so if they are happy and they want to leave a good review, we can put in all the different review sites you have. It can have, 10, 20, 30 different review sites on here. I just put some of the major ones on this demo, but it also helps them by showing them how to do it. Because one of the main reasons why people don't leave good reviews is because they just don't know how to do it, or they feel like it's too difficult to jump through the hoops. And there's a lot of pitfalls along the way. Like if somebody came to leave you a review on Google and you sent them the link to your Google Plus page or whatever, and they went to leave a review and they were on their mobile device, there's no way to leave a review. So and then you kind of frustrated them and wasted it. So we thought out all of these different potential pitfalls, put in those directions and things like this to choose another site. Yelp has a really strong filter, so unless they're a regular Yelper, it's going to just waste their review anyway. So it says choose another site. Also has step-by-step directions, and this will open in a new window so they can then leave the review. So same thing, city search, everything else. So and And typically the best 4 to have would be Google, Yelp, City Search, and then Facebook. You can also, on your GatherKudos page, we can offer an incentive to get them there. Now, you never want to trade for a good review, but you can offer something just as a free thing to get them to this page. Like, we have a free guide on this page. There's no review necessary. Go check it out. And while you're there, be sure to leave us feedback. You can always ask for feedback. It's completely safe to ask for feedback. So here I'll show you how we're using it for ourselves. So I recently moved. We didn't have really any reviews, and I set this up, and we've now have a star rating on Google, and we're getting some reviews. We have a 5-star Yelp rating. So we're looking good. We're getting feedback, and we don't get a ton of clients, because we do large projects in general. But it's made it a lot easier to get feedback from clients and to get reviews. So I offer a guide here, things like that. And you can see I put my phone number to get feedback directly. I've got Facebook, Angie's List, Twitter, etc. So I'll show you one other. RPM West. All right, this one is for John Gitlin up in out of Salt Lake City, and I think my internet's a little slow from my video sharing. Let's see if this loads up here. All right, maybe I've shown enough of these. Oh, it's coming up. Anyway, his has. Let me see. I want to show you his because it has stars, which is different. So there's a couple ways we can show it. GatherKudos / RPM West. All right, so we can also employ a much stronger filter. We can have a thumbs up and thumbs down, like you liked us or didn't like us, or we can have it do this, where if they do 3 stars or less, it pops up the form. You see John gives out his phone number, his cell phone, direct phone number, or you can do this. If you do a 4 or 5 star, it'll pop this up. So you can see his looks really simple. It can be a really simple thing to really make it easy. All right, so let me go. So that is basically what GatherKudos is in a nutshell. It's a real simple tool. It is only $29 a month. It's really cheap if you're wondering about the price. So all right, so I showed you it. All right, how do I use it? So basically, you want to put this anywhere that your customers exist, wherever your customers hang out. This could be on your customer portals. This could be on, we put it in our email signatures. You can put it in your support email signatures. You can get a QR code, which are those weird square barcodes that people can scan with their phones, and you can put it right up in your window, and the GatherKudos pages are mobile friendly. So you can also we have GatherKudos cards that you can buy from us, or you can go get your own cards printed and just slap your URL on there. And you can include those kind of things in thank you notes. You can send out thank you notes to clients. Hey, give us some feedback about your experience. Thanks for signing on with us, etc. So there's some ideas of how to use it. So why GatherKudos? There's no confusing do-it-yourself about it at all. We manage the whole process for you. We will set it up for you. If you want text or anything changed, we'll take care of that. You just send us an email. We're all over it. The directions on how to do reviews change from time to time. The systems change. We try to keep that as up to date as possible, so that you don't end up with a broken review funnel. So we help you avoid all of these potential pitfalls. The price is really low. It's only $29 a month. If it helps you prevent one negative review and maybe get one more positive review, it's totally worth it. How much does one bad review cost? One negative review for some business owners has completely destroyed their business if it's gone viral. So, and how beneficial could positive reviews be? Before anyone ever even gets to your website so that it can do its job of selling, they will likely see your reviews. It may prevent clicks. It may prevent any marketing efforts you're trying to employ through search engines or through Google. So it's important to get those good reviews. And there's a lot of services out there that are really expensive. They review monitoring services, and they'll monitor your reviews, and they'll send you notices when you get reviews. To me, those are very reactive. That's not very useful, plus they're really costly. This is proactive. You're capturing negative feedback before it becomes a bad review. You're getting positive reviews, and it's a lot less expensive. So Salt Lake City West, he was our first guinea pig. I showed you his page, and he puts it on his customer portal, and he uses Propertyware. He puts it right in his customer portal where his clients log in asking for reviews. And here's what I called him up and I was asking him, hey, I'm going to do this webinar. What feedback do you have about it? And he gave me some really good feedback. First of all, he said it was really doing great things for them. And he said the important thing is to tell business owners to don't fear negative feedback. If you prevent or don't ask for negative feedback, then you aren't giving your customers a voice. If they don't have a voice, they always have a voice, is the important thing to realize. They're going to take to Yelp. They're going to go to Google. They're going to go somewhere where somebody's going to hear them scream and shout their gripes and concerns. So he gives out his cell phone on there. He says it's totally worth it. A lot of business owners would be scared to do that, but he gives it out. And so here's what we've noticed, because we see all these emails and stuff come through, and he says he's gotten a lot of emails, several emails, and he's got several phone calls every month. He's finding out about all these issues that he was not aware of before happening with his business. You know, if somebody has a bad experience or is having problems with your frontline employees, how likely are you to hear about it, right? Who are they going to complain to? They usually can't jump over the front desk, find you in the back, and give you the negative feedback about their frontline employee, plus it's just awkward. So they'll go to Yelp, right? So giving them a direct access to you, the business owner, bypasses that, and you're going to get feedback about your business you didn't even know, problems that you didn't even know existed. He's finding out about things about people not getting keys, or people, all kinds of stuff that he thought were totally taken care of. So this helps you improve your business significantly because you're getting real relevant feedback. So all you have to do is ask for real feedback. Don't be afraid of the negative. So he said in the last 10 years he's gotten 30 reviews, and he says in the last couple months he's gotten 5 positive reviews. So he says that's a big difference. And he said he says all those negative reviews, he says, have virtually just completely stopped. He said he only got one crazy lady that he was totally expecting to leave a bad review, that there was no way to resolve it, and he knew it was coming. And with a tool like this, you'll know when negative stuff is going to happen, because you'll be getting that negative feedback, hopefully directly. And if there's no way to reconcile it, then then you can get into that reactive stage where you're dealing with the negative review and figuring out how to handle it. All right, so 5 ways GatherKudos can transform your business. So, did I deliver? Did I deliver? So we talked about the benefits. You'll get more reviews, right? It's a big deal. You'll get direct feedback and insights about your business you wouldn't have gotten otherwise, right? You'll prevent bad reviews. Awesome. You'll get better rankings. So I didn't really touch on that, so let me touch on that. So Google ranks sites, especially when it comes to local businesses, local search results, the local pack, where you see the star ratings and the pin tabs and the maps, and on iPhones and everything else. Local rankings are directly connected to reviews. And Google looks at review diversity. So how many different sites? So if you put all your eggs in one basket, it's not good, right? Give us good reviews on Yelp. Or you just do Google. Give us good reviews on Google. You're putting all your eggs in one basket. And it also makes it more difficult than just sending them to GatherKudos and letting them pick whichever site they're comfortable with, which helps lubricate that process, right? So, and if you're getting better rankings, also you're getting better star ratings, and that's a ranking factor as well. So, and the number of reviews. So review diversity, review quantity, and review rankings. So are ranking factors to Google. More business. If you have better rankings and better reviews, you're going to get more click-throughs to your website. You're going to get more phone calls of people right then and there looking at your local business listing and that sort of thing. So in case these 5 weren't enough, because I was like, man, I really want to make sure I deliver the value, then here's 5 more things that you will get out of this. You're going to have better customer service, right, in your organization as a result of GatherKudos and my review strategy guide. 2, you're going to have greater accountability. Everybody's in your organization they know they're next on the line, that you're asking for feedback in your emails or on the customer portals, or it's right there on your business or on your front desk or wherever you're putting it. You're asking for these reviews. They know that feedback's going to come, and their job, these frontline employees know that you're going to be following up with them if there's a negative review or a negative comment, and that customers have a voice to get that to you now. More confidence. So if you have better reviews and things are going really well, you're going to be more confident about your business, more confident in your staff, more confident that things are going well. That means less stress all around. You're dealing with less problems. The problems are coming to you directly. You're making changes in your business so those problems don't keep cropping up. And number 5, if all this works out the way everything else on the left here works out, then you're going to have more money, right? More money coming in for your business. All right. So Q&A, question and answer. So Helen, you're probably muted right now. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hi. So let's talk about some of the questions. So what questions were people asking?
All right. So Dennis asked. Okay. Dennis asked, how do we get patients to follow through and leave positive reviews?
Okay. How do we get people to follow through and leave positive reviews? All right. So I'm assuming by that question, let me see if you can see me now. I'm assuming by that question you are asking them for a positive review, which is a little awkward, right? Give me a good review, or I'm glad you're really happy with us, give me a good review. So that's a little awkward. So GatherKudos is a little more, can be direct like that. You can just send them to that, and that will lubricate that process. It makes it easier. Plus, if it's in every email they get from you, and maybe you do a newsletter with them or anything like that, they're going to get they're always going to be reminded. It's going to say like my signature says, "Happy with us, give us kudos." Yours could say, "We want to get all feedback, good and bad." If you get a lot of negative feedback, I would recommend you ask for negative feedback so that it doesn't end up on review sites. The other, yeah. So I think that's, and to get them to follow through, you really, if you're handing them a card or giving them something tangible in real life, because if you have a physical therapy business or something like that, and you're dealing with people directly, you give them this card, say, "Give us feedback, please. How we want people to know, and it helps others," and that sort of thing. They can walk away with that, and they have this tangible thing. It's this constant reminder. It's what in neuro-linguistic programming, which is a weird thing, is called an anchor. So it's this anchor. Every time they see it, it's going to remind them, "Oh yeah, I said I'd give feedback," or "I said I was really glad with the results. I told them I'd give feedback." So it's always going to be reminding them. So anchors like that can be really effective. Okay. Hopefully that answered that question. What's another question, Helen?
Well, I wanted to add to that as well. One of the ways that you can ensure, if say you have somebody who's happy with your business and they say, "Oh, I'll certainly review you," and then they go away and you wait for that review to come through and it never does. Perhaps letting customers know how important reviews are to you. So reinforcing the fact that you are a small business and these reviews help build your online reputation. So just be honest with them. I mean, we're Open Potion, we're always open. So that would be one of the pieces of advice I would give, is just level with them and say, it's really important that we get this feedback, negative or positive, because we are a small business and we want to grow. That's another way. The next question that we got was from Melissa, who just wanted to know how to get more positive online reviews and also the best way to respond to negative reviews.
Okay, those are great questions. So positive reviews and how to deal with negative reviews. Well, to get more positive reviews, one, you can ask. So with GatherKudos, what I like to do to be really careful about asking, so it's not awkward, is just I ask clients for direct feedback. So I will follow up with them maybe a month later, or I'll just, at the end of building a website or a project, I will then follow up with them and say, how is it working with my team? What was your experience working with Open Potion? If they give, usually they give really positive feedback, but they might mention something negative. So then I can deal with it. So the important thing is to ask for feedback. And in some businesses, you can't really do that directly, because you have lots of different people that you're not really seeing or communicating with on a regular basis. But that's where you can send out these notices requesting just feedback and include your GatherKudos URL. So, but if somebody has a glowing review, they're like, oh, it was amazing, you guys were wonderful, it was great working with Helen and with Star and Esteban and whatever, it all went really well, then what I do is say, great, I love hearing positive feedback. Would you be willing to share that with others somewhere? That'd be really helpful. There's this link in my email signature. Just click that when you have a chance. Check it out and just give that feedback. Pick whatever site works best for you that you're familiar with. It just take you a minute. I'd really appreciate it. It really help us out. That's usually what I do, and I think that's pretty tactful and tasteful, and it's not too pushy. So, all right, dealing with negative reviews. That's a great question. So, sorry, let me get a drink here. All right, so how to deal with negative reviews. So that's specifically answered in detail in my guide. So download my guide. I think I have it up here, so I can pull up. Dealing with bad reviews. So here's some of the ideas I have in it. So first thing, you need to respond to negative reviews. It's very important to respond. But it's very, very important to respond in a way that makes you look good and not like a jerk, right? You don't want to look like a jerk. So how do you respond to negative reviews? First, you gotta wait till, you don't want to wait too long. So you want to, but you also need to let the heat die down. You can't respond negative or angry. So what I do is, if I'm really upset about a negative thing somebody's done to me or something online that I need to respond to, I have my wife read it first, and so she'll read it and then she'll say, Jason, you sound like a complete jerk, right? So, and then I'll change it, right? Or maybe she'll say, that's okay, but you probably should leave that part out. And then, it usually makes sense. I'm like, yeah, but I really just wanted to kind of jab them back, but all right, so here are my ideas. So one, thank them for their feedback and acknowledge their frustration. So you don't want to discount them. That just, everything you said is a complete lie. You're complete garbage. Just, thank you for that feedback. We appreciate all feedback. We understand that you're frustrated. So that's a great way to start. Admit you fell short. Admission is this. So a lot of these ideas there's this book, this really great book called The 5 Languages of Apology. And some people expect you to say that you're going to change. Some people expect you to just say that you are sorry. Some people want to hear that you suffered. So that, there's different languages. So you can kind of cover all those bases, but admit you fell short. That just shows that you're a real person, real business. We're not always perfect. We're sorry that you had a bad experience. We understand that this didn't go as well as planned, and we really wish we had done better. We're taking steps to improve it, right? So the third item I have is that you're constantly seeking to be better. We strive to be better. We value your feedback. So the fourth thing, explain your side. So if they're just completely out there, like this crazy lady that John said he had to deal with, just stick to the facts. Keep the emotion out of it. We're sorry that you're upset, but maybe one example I have here is, let's see, we appreciate, I wrote this thinking of what John had told me. We appreciate all feedback and use it to improve our process. We admit we aren't perfect and are sorry you had a bad experience. We understand how it can be frustrating to not have your lease renewed. However, you made a claim directly to the owner of the property that you had a felony, which wasn't disclosed to us and doesn't show on criminal background checks, in parentheses, because you weren't actually convicted. We lost the client due to your claim and feel the pain as well. In over 15 years of managing properties, this is the first time this has happened to us. We have altered our process to prevent future issues like this and wish you a successful future, free of criminal activity and full of wise discretion. So it's a little bit snarky. There are some really snarky reviews that are really funny out there that have gone viral, like this guy that was really gave a bar or this place a really bad review, but it was because he got carded and didn't provide ID and was hitting on the waitresses, and he was sleazy, and the waitress responded to his review and totally called him out on it and publicly shamed the guy. And that played out well for them, but you have to be careful. It may not play out well for you. So the other things I have is highlight your strengths. So flip it around. Turn it into an opportunity to highlight your strengths. So we're sorry you had a bad experience. We've been doing this for 15 years or 10 years or whatever. We normally have a really high customer satisfaction rating. We're one of the top in our industry. Just turn it around and start mentioning your positives. Mention learning or change if possible. Here are the steps that we've taken to prevent this in the future. And then leave the door open for them to return and ask for another shot. So you can say to them, we're sorry you had a bad experience. We made these steps to improve it. Please take a look at us in another month and try us out again. You're welcome back anytime to our business or establishment. We hope you'll give us another shot in the future, that sort of thing. So, but like I had mentioned before, what you never want to do is bribe them, offer them something to change their review, because if Yelp finds out, that's really bad news. And if they go on and leave a review, a follow-up on their review, saying this business owner tried to pay me to change my review or offered me a free month or bribed me, so you have to be really careful, because that makes you look really bad, right? So what people want to hear is that you changed things and you got better, and not that you're just trying to get rid of the bad review. Okay. So hopefully that answers that question. Is there another question, Helen?
Yes. Well, Wendy Chapman asked, how are people asking clients for good reviews? I think we touched on that a little bit, but maybe she wants some examples of maybe how we do it, how other companies do it. So I don't know if you want to go a bit more into detail about that.
Well, I had mentioned how I ask so that it's not too awkward. The other thing is you can put it on actual takeaways, like cards, things like that. And I think it's important to actually follow up. A lot of businesses, as part of their review strategy, have some sort of follow-up process to get feedback. It could be a survey. It could be a phone call a couple weeks after they're in their new property. How is everything going? It could be, anything like that. You need to follow up and ask for feedback. Even if it's just an email, hey, did everything go okay? And ask for feedback. And then if they give you some really glowing feedback, then you can say, that's awesome. Could you let other people know about it? Just click our link here and give them the GatherKudos link. Do you have anything to add to that, Helen?
I would just say how we would do it. I know that obviously I speak to clients a lot on the phone. If I am hearing, some kind of they're voicing concerns or they're voicing praise, either way, I'll say, what's your experience being of Open Potion? And we'll talk about it on the phone. Now, to get that onto, say, a review website, which is the aim, you want to have that, if it's a good review, you want everybody to know that you're getting this praise. I will just say that's really great. Have you seen our review websites? I won't ask them specifically to put that feedback on a review, but I will segue into telling them that we have a Yelp profile, telling them that we're on Google+, getting them to like us on Facebook, and I'll kind of steer them towards those portals once I ascertain that they have this feedback. So that's another way you can do it. Obviously, you have to be very careful about making sure you're not asking specifically, hey, put that on Yelp, we want that written down, but you can then steer them towards those pages if they communicate that they have some feedback they want to give.
Yeah, I mean, some clients I'm pretty bold with. If you're really close with somebody, you have a close relationship, and we tend to, going through this whole website process and the discovery process we do with clients now, that we've been doing in the last, several months. If you've done a project with us, you're familiar with this, but excuse me, we spend a lot of time with the client helping them with their business, so there's a real strong relationship there. So I feel pretty comfortable with some saying, hey, I know you use Yelp. Could you just go do a review on Yelp? Now, technically, you're not supposed to do that. Yelp knows people ask for reviews. The last thing you want is somebody to go to a review site and say, Steve, the owner, asked me to write a review, so here I am, right? That looks really bad, and everybody knows you're not supposed to ask. So you just need to be careful about asking for reviews. Whoa, I just got blurry. You see me? All right. So you can put it on cards, though. The other thing are those QR codes I'd mentioned. You can put those like on windows, on your brochures, on anything you're giving to clients. Put it where your clients are. So that for a property management company, that could be their tenants or their owners. For us, we put it on our support email signatures so that we're getting feedback. And we put it in the future. It's going to be on our invoice emails that go out. Any interaction that we have with clients, we want them to be able to do that. Another question?
I have one more question, and this one is a little bit more complex. It's from Doji, and he asks, how do we get Yelp to correct erroneous negative posts by tenants? There's one particular circumstance that he showed me. He said, we reached out to the tenant to correct this, but they've not responded. And he's given me the link to his Yelp page, but basically it looks like somebody has given a review, a negative review, and it's a 1-star, but they've actually referred to somebody called Jerry, and Doji says there's nobody of that name at that business. So really, how do they correct that with Yelp? Is there a way they can get reviews taken down if they are proven to be, wrong or incorrect in any way?
Okay, so that's a really good question. The answer is you're probably not going to be able to do a whole lot about it. Yelp does have sort of a process of appealing to them or talking to them, so you want to make sure you have a business profile set up with Yelp, and you have ownership of your listing and that sort of thing. And you can contact Yelp and ask them about a review, but you have to have really strong evidence that that's not regarding your business. And that you don't have somebody named Jerry. I mean, maybe they just got the name wrong, and maybe it was for your business. So, and if it's completely erroneous and it's somebody left a fake review and that sort of thing, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. But I would respond to it and say, we're really sorry that you had a bad experience. We thought this was really strange and not indicative of our usual business. Plus, there's nobody that works here named Jerry. Perhaps it was for another real property management franchise, and because each is independently owned and operated, or maybe they just were mistaken because our business has kind of a generic name, Real Property Management, and it was a different company. So, or maybe they were dealing with a contractor. Who knows? But you need to respond to it, and if you respond to it, everybody expects negative reviews. So the nice thing about GatherKudos, if you have one really bad one-star review and that's all you have, then you look pretty bad. If you have a one-star review, even if you have like 10 one-star reviews, but you have 50 five-star reviews, those one-star reviews look like outliers. Plus, if your responses are good, because people will look at them and see how you're responding, people know one-star reviews are extreme, right? These are people that are extreme. And I mentioned in my ebook that sometimes it's not about you. I mentioned that sometimes people are just having a bad day, right? Like the Yosemite thing, complaining about the bathroom, right? Sometimes people just are having a bad day, or they're complaining. I've had clients really be upset and frustrated and get them on the phone and realize they're dealing with a serious illness, going through a divorce. And I mentioned this in my ebook, that sometimes it's not about you, and sometimes just connecting with them and reaching out to people, if you're able to connect with people directly, a lot of times that disarms people and helps them realize there's a real person and a real business behind that Yelp page. So, and a lot of times they'll feel kind of bad about it and go and change it. So, but usually the best thing is just to respond to it. All right, so so that we're coming up on at the end of this here. So what I want you to do, my call to action, of course, is to go to GatherKudos.com and sign up. Also get my ebook to go along with that, which is free, and it's useful even if you don't use GatherKudos. It has some really great ideas, really great tips. I wanted to share my screen here again. There we go. Okay, so we got through the question and answer, and to wrap this up, it's loading here. All right, to wrap this up, so it's GatherKudos.com. There's a little video where I explain just kind of succinctly some of the benefits of it. You can click on demos. There's currently a free trial, so it's really low risk. But don't sign up for the free trial and not start using it, because you're wasting that. But yeah, you need to give it out and actually use it. So sign up. This review strategy guide that I wrote, grab that. It has some really great advice that I didn't discuss today on how to improve customer service that I think could be really beneficial. And we also I want to let you know we have this referral offer. If you go to openpotion.com, at the bottom left-hand corner of the page, you're going to see this little link that says, that talks about our referral program. So we are implementing a referral program. We are offering not just a free month or not just $100 credit. We're offering between $300 to $1,000 per lead that you send over to us that pans out. So basically, we are offering 10% of our projects, and our projects typically range between 3 to 10 grand. And for our clients, if you are an older client and that sounds high to you, that price includes now content writing, so we're dealing with actually writing all the content. They get a lot more with that, so it really makes a lot of sense financially for business owners to do it. We're closing deals typically, on average, I think the last couple weeks or last couple months, our average close price was about 6 grand. So that would mean $600 for you if you send over a lead to us. And every dollar that a business owner spends with us makes sense. So you can feel safe sending business over to us. It makes complete sense because we are helping them either save the cost of a single employee annually, we're helping them get more business. It all pays for itself. It's really usually just a matter of what they can afford to do and how aggressive they want to be in their marketing. So upcoming webinars. I don't even think this URL is active yet, but I'm going to make this active. So openpotion.com/webinars. We're going to be doing this on a regular basis. We'll probably be doing these on Wednesdays, and we'll have Wednesday webinars. But these are all going to be things that are going to be helping people improve their business. If you have some ideas of things you would like to learn about or hear about, put that in the chat box below. Feel free to give us some ideas of what you would like to hear about in an upcoming webinar that we could touch on. Some of the ideas that I had were to talk about some property management stuff specifically, how to, one really big way that I don't mention in my guide or that I don't mention in yet, I may be updating it, but one really big way to prevent negative reviews is to filter the type of clients you take on. And so I can discuss that. That happens during the sales process, so that might be a webinar on the sales process. So anyway, whatever things you might be interested, I could talk about technology, whatever, that how we implement that, how we run a virtual company or working with employees from afar. If you have some remote employees or you're remote from your business, like John Gitlin is, who I had mentioned, he's down in San Diego. So anything that you want to hear about, go ahead and put that in the chat box. I hope this has been incredibly useful for you, and I hope, let us know. Let me see. All right, can you see me again? Did I stop the screen share? Yeah. All right. Let us know. Give us feedback. Let us know how this went, and feel free to test out our GatherKudos page. And if you want, give us feedback. Try it out. You can see how it works. See if it's easy enough. So, and that's about it. So I will let everybody get back to their day, and we're done.
Thank you, guys.
And thanks, Helen, for helping me out.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right. Bye.